Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Band-Maid with another song off the Unleash EP from 2022, the one that came out right after Unseen World. Let me see here. And we recently saw Sense, which is also on Unleash. Today we're going to be taking a look at Influencer. This is a request. We're going to be looking at the official music video. Influencer, I believe, refers to the social media variety influencer. I hope they have lyrics in the captioning. If not, we'll look at the lyrics afterwards and figure out what they mean. But Adrian, any thoughts on this before we get started?
Well, I'm just looking forward to hearing another Band-Maid tune, Influencer, about those darn lousy influencers on social media.
Yeah. I know, they're a crazy bunch, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. No, we'll see what they have to say. Should be interesting. They're always a fascinating band, speedy and loads of fun. All right, let's go ahead and check this out and we'll discuss afterwards.
なんで社内マウントがさちっちゃ高まるアドバンテージマジこれフィルター神じゃん Push it like a check it out Share happy let's dance Keep it like ね好きになっちゃうじゃん Surrender
A cool quarry shot.
Yeah.
If anybody knows exactly where that was shot, that would be an interesting thing to know. It was a very picturesque backdrop. There are a lot of things different about this song from other Band-Maid songs. Adrian, do you have any thoughts up ahead you want to share?
Song begins with a nice dirge that quickly changes to the punchy metal guitars that are typical of Band-Maid, a heavy but clean bass, and a groovy drum beat being played double or triple speed.
Those kind of hallmarks were there. Other than that, though, the song to me sounded very different from any other Band-Maid song we have ever heard. It sounded a lot more modern in production, far fewer chord changes. It was really just the same 4 chords over and over again. The actual drum beat that Akane was using, I've never heard before in Band-Maid. It was a more of a funk thing going on. You know, there was a lot of offbeat and, I mean, very cool. And she did it perfectly. Sounded great. But I've never heard that before in one of their songs. And so I was quite surprised by that. Yeah, the lyrics were funny and also on point, essentially just poking fun at influencers and the whole reason for being, you know, look at me, I'm popular, everything's great, you know, and they also keep bringing up the democracy, I believe, of social media, meaning anybody can rise up to be an influencer, you know, for better or for worse, I guess. Very clever lyrics by Kobato. That is to say, Miku. I note that the album before this one was, as we mentioned earlier, Unseen World, and that's the one where they really tried to open up the box they were in and try new things and try extending the boundaries a little bit. So this almost feels like it could have been an outtake of Unseen World. So yeah, so the paragraph about this on Wikipedia goes as follows. Influencer is about women who live their lives through social media and want to be beautiful all the time. There needed to be a long bass solo in there, which there was. There was actually a really cool, very slappy bass solo, which again is something we don't necessarily hear all the time. Although we hear it more, I think, from Band-Maid than we do other bands.
With that heavy but clean bass I was talking about, you know, you really hear that in the bass solo that's in there.
Yeah, and that was a very cool bass solo. They consciously wanted to have simple and intense sounding drums without too much complexity. I think they did that. So yeah, pretty cool song. Pretty unusual. Not quite what I expected, but it was neat. If there are other songs like that are pretty far off the beaten path of what people might expect from Band-Maid, I think we'd be interested in hearing those, just to kind of get the variety. They've got a pretty fair amount of variety to begin with, I think, but this was really something totally different to my ears. So that was cool, and I'd like to experience that again. So leave any thoughts in that direction down below. If you have thoughts on this particular video or things you want to add, please leave that as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us on this, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.
See you all later.